in yesterday, did you see it?
No.
I did.
No, what is it?
Well, you know why.
It's now 6:30. I'd like to call this meeting of the City of Monessen Council to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilperson Cosner,
Here.
Councilman Nestor,
Present.
Councilperson Thomas,
Here.
Councilman Chakowski,
Here.
Mayor Mosher.
Present.
Mayor, we note 5 present and a quorum.
Thank you. This time I'd like to invite Amy to come up and lead us in prayer. Here, you can use this mic. It works a little better.
Okay. Thank you.
Lord, we just think we come together tonight to just give you thanks, Lord, the honor and glory that you deserve, Lord God. We ask that there would be peace among each and every one of us here tonight, that there would be unity, Lord God, and that your will would be done, Father, and that every word spoken would be done in peace and non-aggression, Lord. And we just praise you for what you're doing in Monessen and in the Mon Valley, Lord. So we come believing that there is change coming and seeing the changes, Lord God. So, Father, I thank you, and I just give you all the honor and glory. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to suggest that we delay the approval of the meeting's minutes from the previous session of July the 11th until our next meeting. There's some 38 pages there, and we just got it tonight, so take them home, read them, and offer any corrections throughout the week that you might have. At this time, I'd like to open the floor for public comment on agenda items only. Here you go. They both work, but this works better.
Linda Lacy, 1624 Maple Avenue. I just have 2 questions. They're on the agenda. On page 2, item D.
Yes?
Okay, it's the repaving project that's on 3rd Street.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as I recall, you took money from 10th Street to go to the project on 3rd Street, and it wasn't nearly $244,000 to pave that little quarter mile into Highland Manor. So then you're doing a repair in an alley behind Eisenberg's for $8,600. When are you going to pave 10th Street? And why did 10th Street have to wait? But you're going to do Eisenberg's alley?
You want me to try to answer those?
Yes.
Okay, well, first off, 10th Street, we can talk about more as time goes on. They've, since the time that you started pushing 10th Street, they've vacated that Westmoreland County Housing Authority. There's only 2 people that were living up there.
Well, hold on, Mayor, 1 minute. That money was allocated for 10th Street. You did improvements to Madison Park. Where do you think these people are going to park when they come visit that park?
If you let me finish talking.
Okay.
We also met with CDBG today. That 10th Street between Knox and the Westmoreland County Housing Authority would have difficulty meeting the requirements of CDBG as far as the number of people that it served. So you can't just pave it for a one-time parking event. And I'm just saying that
It serves the whole community.
it's only 2 people live there.
Regardless of how many people live in Highland
just telling you
Manor,
what they told
other
me.
people use that street.
Okay, fine.
Now, I'm very upset because that money
am
was
cognizant.
allocated to do 10th Street, and you took it away from there. And that little bit of money that you took away from 10th Street doesn't even amount to what you're going to pave 3rd Street, which you said and your staff said was going to be allocated to 3rd Street.
Question, Mayor. So, if after getting the truck, how much money is it to do 10th Street? Do we have enough ARP funds, a possibility that we can finish 10th Street?
The engineering estimate was $70,000
For 10th Street?
for 10th Street.
Oh, I didn't remember
To do a
Being that
quarter
much,
mile
I don't
road.
remember it being
To
that
do
much.
all of
From the
10th Street
corner of
from-
Knox to the end of that one
No, that was
street.
that was from the corner of Westmoreland County Housing all the way to,
Oh, man, I don't think
McMahon.
We weren't looking for.
That's not even a mile. That's probably not even a half a mile.
I'm just telling you that's what the engineering estimate was. We can
Well, why
double
couldn't
check-
why couldn't you take line usage money like you're gonna do the
Because
alley?
that has nothing to do with line usage.
What, there's no sewer up there?
If the road required, if the sewer
You
messed
know,
up the road,
all
it'd
I'm
be something
saying
different.
is, you better figure out a way how to do 10th Street and Knox.
You're welcome to come to our CDBG public hearing that we're gonna have on the next round of funding, which should be occurring in the next month or so, and present that.
Well, why are you doing the alley behind Eisenberg Apartments?
Because we have a line failure over there, a sewer problem that occurred there, and it etched a big hole in the middle of the alley, and it has to be fixed or somebody's gonna break a leg walking down the alley.
Oh, but you can tear your car up parking on 10th Street.
So I have a question, Mayor.
Mhm.
Since it was previously allocated for 10th Street, when they had enough residents, wouldn't that be enough to continue to have that done with the next CDBG round? Because it was, at that time, it was eligible for that because of the residents that lived there.
Right, but they
It
were
was
resident-
already on the list. We had already approved it.
Right, but the residents aren't
So-
there anymore.
But it was already approved.
Regardless
It
of
was
whether
already
there's
approved.
residents
And
there
here's
or
my thing, It
not.
was already approved.
All I'm saying is, I met with Charlie Thies today. I took him up there and I showed him the road, and he said that this did not meet the
But
qualifications.
did you remind him that it was already approved previously?
It doesn't mean that it still gets,
I think that would
Regardless
make a
of whether
difference.
there's no one living in Highland Manor, it's still a road in Monessen,
yes,
and it needs to be fixed.
there's several that do, yes.
I think that might make a difference. It
It
was
might.
already previously
We can check.
approved
Well, we have no
by
problem talking to them.
council. And and the only thing we did was transfer the funds at the time. So regardless of whether the number has changed, we previously approved that. So I think that makes a difference.
It might, I don't know.
Somebody better find out.
Well, we can check with Charlie Thies. He's the one that would tell us. Go ahead.
Ernest Telegraphus, 29 Rex. Now, 3 people resigned from the civic board.
Rec board, yes.
Okay. Who's replacing them?
We need to advertise and find some people that are interested in serving that board.
Okay, so what do you got now? Who's left?
Mark Panicucci and, who's the other one?
Val, yeah.
Val.
That's it, 2 people.
Yep.
They don't got enough for a quorum.
They haven't met in 3 months anyway, so I guess it really doesn't matter too much.
But
So-
you do have some people interested, right?
I
Yeah,
hope so, yes.
but that lady that was here last time,
Yes, I've
Right.
contacted her.
you gonna put her on board?
If she puts in an application,
Well, she said she wanted to.
yes, I understand. But you need to put a written application.
Okay, what's the latest with Junior?
He still has some medical issues.
He's
So-
back in the hospital.
Okay, so who's gonna be running the show then? You guys gotta have a second backup.
Right now, we've been relying upon Teresa Shea, excuse me, to help us with that task. And she's been quite accommodating.
Well, make sure you bring that other woman on board because she seems like she's ready to go. I mean, she's full of energy.
I understand.
Okay, then I have a question here with the CFO here. Now, you specify all your money locations from the general fund except for one. And you say go look at addendum A. I don't got time to go looking for all these. You see what you got there?
Who's he talking about?
Tony, I'm looking at B on page 3. It says 79,000. You don't say where it's going. It says all invoices attached. All the other ones you got some clue you give us, but no clue on B. So what's going on with B?
Do you want to answer that, or do you want me to answer that?
It's coming from you. You're the one who wrote it down in your
So-
section.
So, to save money in paper, we decided many months ago. I'm sorry?
Yeah, that's going to
Yeah.
really save the city.
Okay.
But go ahead.
We decided to print this out on request. If you need it, be happy to make you a copy. and you'll.
Yes.
Sure. Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
you got it already. Well, I'm glad Mike is on board. So, but the
Now,
thing
that's
is,
something standard that happens every meeting.
well, the thing is, you gotta be more detailed, more informative. You can't just make a general line and then you throw it at us to go looking for it like we're looking for eggs at Easter time.
Well, there should be, there should
Ernie,
be.
here
a-
you go, and this is the first administration that would do this, by the way, because none of the previous
No, I
administrations.
appreciate it, I appreciate it.
In as long as I've been going.
Well,
did
it's
the
just
same thing.
Tony ain't giving us a complete picture. I
Right.
appreciate this.
You're
No,
quite
there
welcome.
should be a sheet that just lists what everything is.
Well, on
That
this-
probably includes the actual statements, I take it you gave him.
Mhm.
Right, but there
Each
should have been
one.
a.
Okay, what page?
Yep. There's a cover, that cover page
The
has
cover page.
for the general, and then there's one
Okay.
for line usage.
I
and
appreciate it.
And the bills.
But yeah, there should have been also a sheet that I send back to you guys.
That's in there, yep.
Okay.
Yep. That
Okay.
one
You
you
can make a
create.
couple of those and put them over there if
Sure.
that need be.
Yep.
Okay, I guess I'm the last guy up here in the front.
Last man standing.
Thank you. This time, I'd like to ask our solicitor if he has anything he'd like to report on.
Nothing for public session.
Thank you. Is the city treasurer have anything he'd like to report on?
Not at this time, Mayor. I'll have my report for next meeting.
Thank you. The city controller?
Yes, Mayor. The general fund Charleroy Federal Savings Bank checking account, the bank reconciliation as of June 2024. The beginning bank balance as of May 31st, 2024 was $1,251,704.56. Deposits made, $271,473.77. Expenses, $460,830.05. The ending balance as of June 28th, 2024 was $1,062,348.28. Outstanding checks, $64,687.59. Outstanding deposits, $759.62. The reconciled balance to the bank statement is $998,420.31. That's my report.
Thank you. There's only a couple of things that really have a lot of significance that's been going on the last 2 weeks that we've been, since the last meeting we had. One of which is, this morning we met with the gas company. They're looking at doing some gas work up along Pennsylvania, along Pacific, all the way around the loop up there, the entire length of the road. The problem is, to be real open and honest with everybody, is the gas line currently runs about 6 or 8 feet inside of people's yards away from the road. If they had to go underneath the driveways, again, across the walls and yards and everything else, that gets to be a big project, lots of impact. It was suggested, and they're looking into the possibility of moving that line from there to the inside of the road along the curb, which could conceivably be less intrusive, to say the least. Either way it goes, they put it off for a month. They've got other things they're looking at. It'll take them a while to evaluate that. So although people that live up there see all the markings on the road, rest assured nothing's going to happen for about a month. And before anything happens, there'll be notifications going to all the residents up there, letting them know exactly what they've decided to do. Other than that, the only other thing of significance is the viaduct. PennDOT has a program that they want to repair the viaduct. Now, their definition of repair and mine might be a little bit different from each other. What they're talking about is repairing all the top half of the viaduct, taking the pavement off, taking the walls along the side off, taking the fence down, redoing the surface, rebuilding the walls, building everything that's above grade there. They will also realign the bearings that the viaduct sits on and paint some of the underside. The concern that I have is that we've had history of concrete falling from the bottom of that viaduct. We've got to make sure that that is addressed at the same time, so that's one of the things that we've been working with. With that said, let's continue on. Would you like to read my motion?
I already got it. Good evening, everyone. Let me put my glasses on. Motion to permit legal advertising for upcoming demolition or property hearings to be held on August 22nd at 5:30 p.m. in the City Hall of the City of Monessen.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any questions? Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas.
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to approve a handicap parking space in front of a residence at 208 Knox Avenue in the City of Monessen.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to accept the low bid for the CDBG 3rd Street repaving project submitted at $244,530.55 by Morgan Contracting, Inc., with the formal bid award to be provided by WEC Engineering.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas.
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to repair the alley behind the former Eisenberg building with line usage funds not to exceed $8,650.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas.
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to obtain bids for the Spring Drive storm pipe upgrade from an 8-inch line to a 15-inch line utilizing line usage funds.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas.
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to accept the resignation of Carla Spangler as a member of the City of Monessen Recreation Board effective immediately.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas.
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to accept the resignation of Letitia Amity as a member of the City of Monessen Recreation Board effective immediately.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor.
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas.
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to accept the resignation of William Sanders as a member of the City of Monessen Recreation Board effective immediately.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas.
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to consider and approve one of the open bids from July 11th, 2024 for the approval of a Public Works 2023 Ford dump truck vehicle.
Is there a second?
Gary, I got a question on this.
We need a second
We need a second first.
And then, yeah.
Second.
Any questions? Now you can
Now I
ask
have
your
a question.
Yes.
Can we, I know we can forego the bids because council can reject bids, correct?
Council can reject any bids that come
Yeah, we
in.
don't have
Okay. And if we file the truck with co-stars, can we still amend this?
Tonight.
Well, it is,
We can table
you're
it.
buying a truck, it doesn't say which truck, so that would work fine.
It says 2003 Ford pickup truck,
Still in there.
We're done.
but it's talking about that
Bid-
you opened the
bids.
bids from July. So if
That
you would like
wasn't
to amend that to use a CoStar pricing, then you would need to have the motion reflect that.
Okay. So we need to make a motion. We second this, so.
So we vote it down and then make another motion. There's still a motion on the agenda about purchasing a vehicle. So if now you're just purchasing from a different place because of cost, you could still place another motion on the agenda
Okay.
in that meeting.
So,
Do you wanna modify that motion? You want me
Well,
to?
So we'll
we're
say
gonna-
no.
Or you
We're
can
gonna say no
modify,
to-
you
We'll
can
say no to
modify,
this.
if the person making the motion and seconding it would, acquiesce to an amendment, you can amend the motion if you need to.
Okay.
I acquiesce, as my motion.
Right.
Okay. So,
And John, you second.
you're okay with that?
So
Okay.
then, the new motion would be, motion is to consider and approve,
A co-star.
Purchase.
purchase of a 2023 Ford dump truck,
From CoStar.
out of the CoStar's bids.
Okay.
That's correct.
You wanna make that?
Motion to consider and approve the purchase of a 2023 Ford dump truck using co-star funds. Is there a second?
Using CoStar, the bidding.
Bidding.
requirement.
Co-star bidding fund
Which we can
requirements.
use our funds.
Yes, okay.
Second.
Questions?
Okay, so if anybody has any questions or what this is council previously looked at a couple different trucks, and some of the trucks were out of state, hence the bidding, that we put in the paper. Thank you. And this came up because this morning I went out to look, those trucks were still available, because they fluctuate, they could be gone last week, whatever. One of them I could not find. But I was able to find one down in Pittsburgh, and the dealer, Allegheny Ford, is a CoStar dealer. So we don't have to go through everything. I believe it fits, and it fits the requirements of what our street crew exactly needs. We can take immediate delivery of this and move on.
How much is,
The total of the truck is $89,000.
that's even better, gee.
Well, they're gonna use, the street crew has an extra plow, an extra salt spreader, so they'll use that on that truck,
I'm saving 35,000 from that other guy from Ohio.
not 37,000. It was 114.
Yeah, and then you have to pay 1,500 to bring them in.
That, was 15,000, it was 115,000 total from the other one, so. I just wanna let everybody know where this came from.
The,
I sure hope so.
the only concern that I would have with this is that, the plow requires the hydraulics to raise and lower it. There are special lighting requirements and controls that are used for our salt spreader as well. The $88,000 is a great price for what we're getting, but I don't think that that's the total of what this is gonna cost us.
Well, I'm fully expecting that if we need to, and they say that the plow that they have that's hydraulic, which isn't a preference anymore. Actually, all the places I've talked to, everything is electric now.
Either way, you still gotta be able to raise and lower it, and that's not
Well, it would be
included.
inside, so even if we have to take an extra $10,000 and go to Zaresco's and say, we want a brand new plow and controls put on this, that's okay. We have it figured already into there.
Still good buy.
So, we just wanna get this ready and operational before the snow flies. And I know it's 90 degrees out and everything else, but it'll be here before you know it, and
That's good, yeah.
it's a truck.
Yeah, it's
It's the
not
same-
big, it's not.
same
yeah,
size.
Where you
Same
go in the
size.
country, the streets are gonna be the same width and everything. That doesn't change.
When there's snow, then you have to
That,
be
we
careful.
can't change that.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna park there, you're gonna park there. If you can park somewhere else and let the plow go through,
Just have the police ticket.
you trying to generate income or anything? Yes, we have to vote on it. We have a second. We do have a second. Thank you, Gary.
the only concern that I would have is, we have limited ARP funds. I would still suggest that we consider financing this trucks in order to preserve our ARP funds, so that we could use the ARP funds for doing things that you can't finance, such as road repairs. But I will go along with whatever council wants to do.
My question to that is, and I'll use this as a, I don't mean to turn by this to anybody, but show me the money.
That's what I'm trying to do.
And we don't have any outlet for that, whether it be CDBG, whether it be any grants or anything, there's no cash. So I'm doing on the premises like I do the finances. Show me the money, it's in the bank, it's sitting there, it's cold hard cash, we can use it. If it shows up some more time later, that would have been different, but we can't take the chance because these trucks go. And I don't wanna be waiting until October and we're still messing around trying to look for a truck. I'm not disrespecting anybody.
I'm not even suggesting that, but go ahead. Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor.
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas.
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Discussion of Reed Street project over
Hold on a
Thursday.
second.
Oh, who didn't vote?
You're quick.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna vote yes, but I have reservations on that too. Okay, now you can continue on.
Sorry about that. Discussion of Reed Street project over Third Street Viaduct relative to repairs with the participation of PennDOT.
And I did already take care of that, so we can move on. Tony, would you like to talk about your accounts and
Sure.
receivables role?
I'd like to make a motion to transfer $80,751.30 from the general fund to the payroll account for payroll issued on July 18th, 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the general fund in the amount of $79,701.38. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment A.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the line usage fund in the amount of $11,549.99. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment B.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the Parks Fund in the amount of $737. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment C.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from Liquid Fuels Fund in the amount of $4,224.06. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment D.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the refuge account in the amount of $49,591.73. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment E.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
Make a motion to pay the retired health care benefits in the amount of in the month of June for the amount of $11,419.99.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski.
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
And these are the following balances as of today. American Rescue Fund has $156,065.70. Debt service has $1,243,262.04. Fire escrow has $21,482.40. Grant fund has $64,638.70. Healthcare fund has $8,130.01. Line usage, line usage has $680,881.38. Liquid fuels has $93,816.19. Parks has $183,850.16. Payroll fund has $22,301.50. The rec fund has $5,212.71. Refuge has $163,735.26. And the general fund has $828,991. Mayor, that's my report.
Thank you. Councilwoman Thomas, do you have a report for us?
Yes. Streets Department report for June of 2024. Collected garbage twice a week downtown, marked 90 PA1 calls. Cold patched several streets throughout the city. Painted a curb for no parking, put up signs throughout the city. Trimmed trees at the boat launch, fixed a temporary fence at the boat launch. Cut city lots. Patched a sinkhole on 9th Street. Got a few trucks repaired and are starting repairs for the rest of the fleet. Fixed a few minor repairs on the tractors as well. Made preparation for the 4th of July and helped the Parks Department as needed. That is my report, Mayor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilman Nestor, would you like to give us your report?
Thank you, Mayor. Honorable Mayor, members of staff, citizens of Monessen, and members of council. Here is the report for June 2024. Miscellaneous collections, which were copies of police accident reports, $60, for a total of $60. Court receipts for the District Justice Office are the following. Vehicle code fines collected, $762.12. Crime code fines collected, $279.13. Code enforcement collected, $285.47. Total receipts from the District Justice Office is $1,326.72. For our total receipts collected for June 2024 is $1,386.72. Current citations for June 2024, for the month of June, 76, year-to-date 384. Following is the code activity report for June 2024. Habitation permits 9, correction letters 33, animal complaints 4, miscellaneous complaints 13, health inspections 2, office meetings with residents 4, citations issued 4, hearings 3, building permits 2, zoning permits 5. Following report is the Monessen Fire Chief's report for June 2024. Vehicle accidents 3, public service 1, trees down 5, miscellaneous fire alarms 1, structure fires 2, medical assistance 6, automatic fire alarms 13, carbon monoxide 1, wires down 4, landing zones 2. Calls outside the city. Automatic fire alarms are automatic fire alarm Charleroi 1, structure fire North Bell Vernon 2, structure collapse Charleroi 1. Total calls 42. Total firefighters 391. Firefighters per call 8.11. Total man hours 439. One injured to a firefighter due to miscellaneous fire false alarm, malicious fire alarm. And then that's all I have, Mayor. I yield the floor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Cosner, do you have anything for us?
Yes, I do. Collected garbage and picked up litter in the parks, cleaned the civic center as needed, cut the parks and ball fields, cleaned the pavilions for events that were scheduled, fixed the lights in the bathroom at the boat launch, and helped the street department as needed. And that's the report that I have.
Mayor, could I just remind them, if they don't know, to remind them about the event at Anthony Madison Park on Saturday. That's the 2nd annual Cultural Heritage Festival. It starts at 11, goes to dusk, and it's followed by fireworks down at the boat launch. There'll be vendors and food trucks, games for the kids, and things like that. Okay.
And also thank the NAACP
Yeah,
Unit
they are
2274 for sponsoring.
Sponsoring it, yes.
Miss Linda Carson. Yeah,
Yeah, this should be a good thing. The fireworks will start at 10 o'clock, so you have all afternoon to enjoy the festivities at the Madison Park, and plenty of time to get over to the boat launch. It's nice and dark then. That's just time. We'll also have a DJ there playing music at the boat launch too. Okay, I think we covered all that.
Motion.
Excuse me?
She has a motion.
Oh, go ahead.
I have a motion to approve retroactive waiver of fees for the Monessen cheerleading group for a cheerleading camp and practice held at the Monessen Civic Center on July 8th, 9th, and 10th of 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Moser?
Yes.
Can I mention about the day camps being finished?
No, go ahead and talk about it.
We had, along with Penn State Extension, their 4-H program, scheduled 2 day camps. It's held at City Park for the youth in our schools. And we had one in June, and today was the second one in July. And I think that the children had a really good time. It was a good experience for them, and they're hoping to come back, and we can do this every year. And I'd like to thank Mark Coleman, because he was there bright and early when I was and got everything ready for us. So I do appreciate all of his help. And I also want to remind you about our community flea market that's scheduled to be held on Saturday, September 7th, down at the lot across from the Historical Society. If you have any questions, just give me a call. Thank you.
Thank you. This time I'd like to invite the public for public comment directed to myself on any item relating to the business, ordinances, statutes, resolutions, or daily work product in the attention of the city of Monessen.
Ed LaFever, Keystone Drive. At the last council meeting, a comment was made about an inspector of plumbing for the city, and that sort of tweaked my mind about certification of any inspector. So the first place I went to was Third Class City Code. And in section 141A04, under D, it says inspectors. Council may appoint property maintenance inspectors who may subject to constitutional standards. That stopped me right there. I wonder what a constitutional standard is. So I looked that up for Pennsylvania, and it says the constitutional standard in Pennsylvania are outlined in the Constitution of Pennsylvania. And it says the Constitution of Pennsylvania is the supreme law within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. All acts of the General Assembly, the governor, and each governmental agency are subordinate to it. So that didn't answer my question. So I Googled Pennsylvania Building and Plumbing Inspectors. And what I came up with was certified code officials. And it states, as of April 10th, 2009, the only persons who may legally engage in any aspect of UCC, and that means the Uniform Construction Code enforcement, are those who hold UCC certification in each category of work that they perform. Categories: residential building inspector, residential electrical inspector, residential mechanical inspector, residential public inspector. So that wasn't enough for me. So I Googled further on for Pennsylvania, and I found what was called the Uniform Construction Code UCC certification booklet. And this is a booklet designed, it's entitled the Pennsylvania Construction Code Act 45 and the Uniform Construction Code UCC regulations establish training and certification requirements for all construction code officials in Pennsylvania. That really didn't satisfy me too much. So finally, I kept searching under Pennsylvania government, and I found this. Under these certification requirements, it does show the certification category, and it's residential building inspector, residential electrical inspector, residential mechanical inspector, and residential plumbing inspector. So these categories, if you want to be part of that group, you have to take a test. And I wondered, well, where's the law? I'll find it. So under the Department of Labor and Industry, I found this. 34 PA Code 4013. A person may not perform a plan review of construction documents, inspect construction or equipment, or administer and enforce the Uniform Construction Code without being currently certified or registered by the department in the category applicable to the work. A person may not approve plans or perform inspections relating to accessibility requirements without being certified by the department. So, my final question, Mr. Mayor, is if the city code inspectors are not certified, will you have them take the tests according to 34 PA Code 401?
First off, I very much appreciate all that you've researched for us, and I will take it under advisement and look into it. Thank you very much.
No, I'm not finished. I want to make a statement. If you're talking about an exception, then I'll just further check with the Department of Labor and Industry, if there are exceptions.
If there are exceptions, you're welcome to do that.
Well, are these inspectors for Monessen certified?
Like I said, I will check into it. Thank you for doing the research.
They aren't inspected.
For 25 years, they've been
No.
acting as.
Buzzy Byron is not, Mr. Har, showed a document. He is not certified.
Well, okay, he's not, but I'm
And the
just
building
saying.
inspectors are not certified.
Thank you.
So you're in violation.
I just want to boomerang off of this. Before you hire anybody, you got to do your due diligence and put the right people in. And for some reason, you guys just go along like it's a club. You just let people go in, and then if you make a mistake, you still cover it up. You just keep going with the same locomotive. I don't know why. That doesn't mean that you guys are doing everything right. But that's the main problem here. Like Karen Cosner just said something before. It struck me. She wanted you guys to approve something, and July 8th already passed. So what are we doing? We're back swimming. We're back paddling. We did the same thing with all these other invoices with WEC. What are you guys doing? We can't do that in the real world.
First off, I think you have a very narrow view, but you know what? You know how you solve this problem? Come January, February, you start collecting signatures, you get yourself on the primary, and you run for office.
Yeah, but I'm not just talking to you. You guys all approve as a whole on something. You know, when I go to print my
Well, first off, let's just talk about that for just 2 seconds, and I'm not going to spend more than that. Buzzy has been the plumbing inspector for 25 years.
Yeah, but he wasn't legally
Well, it
qualified.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to be qualified or
No,
not.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
You
when he
just
came
said
to it, he had what we appeared to be the qualifications. We will look into it and we'll address it.
Well, appearance is nothing. I mean, you could watch a magician act, and that's
After
an
25
appearance, and
25
there's
years-
nothing there.
After 25 years, I would think you'd know. But go ahead. Anything else?
Who would know? You
Whether
guys
he's
either
qual-
follow the law or you don't. So it has nothing to do with what I think he knows. And then you got chaos. You don't got no form
Okay, anything else?
of authority. Now, I want to know this, and I want this on the record. How are the two people working out? Because I'm hearing some rumors on one of them. Now, how are the two people that you hired, bookkeeper and the other one that works down here, how are they working out? Are you guys checking on them? Are they on par?
Mr. Telegraphist, we can't have discussions about personnel matters in public setting.
Okay, so you guys down tell me if these guys are following their prerequisites or anything? There's no, you can't say that they're following?
Have a discussion about the employees and personnel in public.
Okay, can you tell me this? Are you having some sort of a what do you call it, review on them every so often? Are you checking them out?
I mean, you could just talk in general.
Yeah, well, you doing that? You checking them out, or you just letting them fly,
Yeah,
whatever they want to
I
do?
believe that the city manager, with all employees across the city, has a constant review of them, and if somebody is.
Yeah, but we
doing
got a
something-
history, sir, of people like, they just hired somebody back in February, and she left in March. And that was because they were telling me she was hitting the bottle. So,
Again,
the thing is, they're not
I'm
doing
gonna-
due
I'm
diligence.
not gonna discuss specifics about any previous or current employee.
Okay, I'm
but-
just asking, is
but
he
the
doing?
manager is taking constant review of.
I hope so, because the thing is, we gotta have a reliable, responsible authority here. Because if we don't, then how could you expect that from the general public? If you guys don't shine as a role model. I have some other little tidbits, like, what are your plans here with RVE? They started January. They're gonna show up and tell us like where they're at this moment in time as far as grants or anything?
They spent all day today working on the CDBG project, so
Who did?
Aaron, he's the representative, he's the engineer assigned to us.
Okay, well, they're gonna have a report?
He will provide reports to us, yes.
How often they're gonna be?
Probably monthly, but we only got reports quarterly from the previous person.
All right, so I'll go with the quarterly. So so let's say September, you're gonna have something, what they've done in
I will
detail,
try to
last
rep-
3
I will-
months?
I will try to report to you exactly what the status is on them as we get the reports.
Yeah, and I'd like to see an evaluation. You give them an A, B, or an F.
Yeah, we'll see what they do.
Okay, and one last thing, I hope you do work with Tony on that, because you're working within Pennsylvania, and we're looking at substantial savings. And like you said, you guys can't sit on it because these trucks come and go, then we're not gonna have anything.
Ernie, it's a done deal.
It's a done deal? Oh, okay, all right.
Make a phone call tomorrow,
Oh, you are?
put a deposit
Okay.
on it, pick it up, get the paperwork, sign it off.
Well,
be done.
he left a statement, the mayor did, like he was gonna like, what, you were gonna question it, or?
No, I approved it too.
You approved it, okay, because you threw some sort of a statement, and that threw me off.
I have concerns, but that's fine. I approved it.
Okay, and the last comment is, I hope the treasurer give us a 3-month report next time.
You just got a 6-month report.
Well, we need 3, because,
No, you'll get a 6-month and a yearly.
Mr. LaFever motioned it, and I seconded it when he wanted a 3-month.
But you didn't vote on it.
You got your 3-month. You got your 3-month in May.
Rob Sasak, Motherwell Avenue. I have a petition here for you to not build low-income housing on Motherwell Avenue. It's signed by residents on the street and surrounding neighborhood.
Okay.
Sorry.
You need to take this across the way to community action. They're the ones doing it, but I will talk to them about this, yes.
Why wasn't that property offered to the residents on the street
We can't.
instead of being considered for building new housing?
There are properties all over town that are available for city residents. Those properties, they were available too. Any of the properties that are owned by the land bank or the city are available for sale. we can transfer them to their RDA and they can handle it. There's lots of property, and I encourage development of property.
Why are they picking Mother Avenue? Why don't they go pick Marguerite, which is empty from 9th Street to 6th Street, with not one resident on it?
I don't know what their reasoning is or anything else, but I would be more than happy to talk to Community Action. You're welcome to go across the street, across the way, talk to them yourself. It's their project.
But who sold them the property? Yeah, who was it?
The land bank and the city did. It was both of us.
You should talk to Brian Lars and to the mayor.
Well, they came to us with a proposal to build houses. That's what we're trying to do, get property taxable. That's what they do.
What's that low-income housing gonna bring in? The neighborhood's actually quiet now on Mother Avenue. I've lived there my whole life.
You know, it's fascinating to me. When I went up to Motherwell the first time a couple years ago, I walked down Motherwell and I was doing a blight study. Blighted house, good house, blighted house, good house, blighted house, blighted house. And as I get to the end of the street, I was carrying 2 cell phones. One local and one from before. The bottom line is, just walking the way I was, a gal comes out of the house and starts yelling at me, he's got a gun, he's got a gun. No, it's 2 cell phones.
Well, that's me, and I didn't say you got a gun, I asked you, I thought somebody was trying to hurt my dog.
No, but anyway, you assumed I had a gun. The bottom line is that, and I talked to you, and you said, you know, many mayors have come here before and they promised they'd get rid of blight, and nobody ever did it. And you didn't think that I was gonna be capable of it. So I worked a deal with the county, and the county came in and removed blight. So far, they've done, in the neighborhood of about 150 houses in Monessen. They promised to do as many as 300. So there's lots more blighted houses
Yeah,
that are gonna go.
The recent one they tore down on my street, 430 Motherwell, actually could have been saved. Well,
That's your opinion, but they.
Meanwhile, there's the
Wait
red
a
one
second,
at the
wait a second.
corner, red at the end of the street. It's falling down. There's caution
Yeah,
tape around it.
I'm just saying, there's a map over there, and I invite you to go look. There'll be red and pink
Well,
dots
why
over.
wasn't the one that's actually literally falling down, tore down first? That's a
You
safety
do
hazard.
realize there is more blight
I do
in the
realize
city
that.
of Monessen
Yeah.
than in the entire county.
Right.
We have more of the blight for the county here. So the reason the county is trying to assist, to tear 150 houses down in a 2-year process is considerable. It's more than has been done.
It's not
Yes.
low-income housing.
Yeah, and by the way,
I understand.
What he's saying is that there was worse houses that could have been torn down first.
maybe, but there are, wait. That's your opinion. They have a set of engineers. Wait a second, let me finish, quit talking. They have a set of engineers that come out and do the inspection of it, and there are documentation about the condition of the houses. They do a formal evaluation. Does it cost more to fix this house than the house would be worth when it is fixed? And if that the equation is wrong, they demolish it. That's just quite simple, and they've got documentation. The houses that you say that could have been saved, I invite you to contact the Westmoreland County Redevelopment Authority, and they will give you their documentation that says why they demolished that house.
Well, I would like to know why they demolished
Then talk to them.
houses on 14th and Maple.
Talk to them. They,
Question, is not that apartment building a possibility to be considered for emergency demo? Yeah, but I mean, isn't it like possible we're looking into emergency demo for that?
so, all these places have been submitted for demolition.
Right.
But they have to go through a complete thing with the SHPO, with the environmental and everything else, and some of these just take time to do.
Right.
They are issuing contracts, several contracts per week. There's teams going all throughout town. The fact that they seems like they're cherry picking, they will come back and pick those that they skipped along the way.
They're doing a horrible job at it.
Some of the reason they have to do it is, there are requirements because of asbestos, that if they do too many residential properties in one area, then they have to fall under other type of regulations about asbestos, but if they take one down in an area and one down in the next block, they may not fall under some of those requirements.
I understand that, but if you stand in where that house was, you can literally see 5 other houses that have holes in the roof, or no roof at all.
And you'll find those places gone over the course of the next year.
When you come off of Motherwell, you're coming right into a house that's leaning on.
That's the one I was talking about.
Oh, that's an interesting place. That happens, that used to be, that wasn't a house, that was a doctor's office. And this doctor actually did business. He was I forget what. I'm not, but this is important to understand. This is important to understand. It was a doctor's office that didn't pay us taxes. If you do a title search on that, which we did because we got to make sure we can demo a house, there is a $1 million lien on that house by the IRS. So what I did is I contacted Resenthaler's office and I said, can you help us with the IRS getting this lien cleared? He spent many trips to the IRS there in Washington, D.C., and they basically said, no, but you can demo the house. There is an emergency demo order that's trying to go through right now to get that brought down.
That's the same thing that happened on Sixth Street, right across from Janice's Pharmacy. So
I'm just saying that place is going, there's a contract out for it, it'll be down soon.
you're just throwing us in circles.
No, I'm not.
It's really.
That took a lot of effort to get rid of that place, a lot of effort.
Linda, can I ask you something, both of you something? Okay. And I don't know if this applies, but I can tell you firsthand a situation. The properties that you mentioned about why they didn't tear this one down versus leaving this one up and things like that, there's also a possibility, and I'll ask our solicitor to make sure I'm not incorrect on this, is that, you know, a lot of that stuff that goes to the land bank had to get cleared, make sure there wasn't people that still owned it, that owed taxes and things like that. They just can't take it, even, I mean, there could be a sour spot in the middle of a street because somebody owns it and the land bank can't touch it, or we can't find out who owns it. I'll give you the perfect example. On my street, at the end, on the end of my street, when you turn and you go on Shell right there is a house that the roof, the windows have punched in, and the grass is taller than you are, and it's been like that for 5 years, and the city cannot find out who owns it.
5 years. These houses have been empty for 20.
This has been empty for at least 15, okay? The people that owned it, or the relatives, passed away, from what I've been told, okay? There's nobody else that's assigned to it, so the county nor us can touch it. And it's unfortunate, because if I lived next door to there, I swear to God, I'd put a 10-foot fence, because the weeds are at least 8 foot tall, and it's the biggest eyesore in the world, but you can't touch it. That may be the case with some of those properties. I can't tell you they are.
Well, regardless of that.
It's not regardless,
No,
it is that.
Back to my main point. We don't want low-income housing built on.
I'm not saying it is low-income
Yeah, I was
housing.
gonna say, that, I think that might be a misconception of terms.
Well,
When we
in the last
explained
agenda,
last-
it says low-income
income-based
housing.
Yeah, I
housing,
don't think I think
income-based
that's the way
housing.
you're saying it, because.
Yeah,
Right, well, that's what I'm saying, that's not how it's, right.
To me,
It's-
and this is
it's a
something I
project.
discussed with city council before, low-income housing is private.
Right, that's.
That's Section 8
exactly,
housing.
Exactly,
This
exactly.
is not.
But you cannot build, why are you calling it low-income?
Yeah,
I
'cause
call it
it's not.
income-based.
Low-income.
Income,
That's different, it's income-based.
it's income-based housing.
Income-based housing.
You know what?
They trying to buy it.
It's
No,
purchased.
it's for purchase.
Purchase.
But it's yet low income.
No, it's
No.
income-based.
No,
Income-based.
well,
I believe the
it's
project is-
income-based.
It's income-based.
You have to have a certain income, that's
You have to live in it for a certain period
Right,
of
that
time,
sounds better.
and then they waive the
not
additional
low
cost of that.
It's
I'm sorry, it is
income-based.
income-based.
Low-income house buildings already.
Right, right,
Nobody
right.
pays that.
Right, that's not it.
We couldn't afford another one now, but exactly.
Yeah, it's income-based.
It's not that.
It's income-based.
Well, I stated my point.
I would suggest, I'd like to suggest that we set up a time.
Mayor, if we may for a second, if we can get on a lighter note real fast, Mayor, Linda, I have the floor. Can you please just tell us about what's going on August 2nd and 3rd at the church that you're part of?
That's a Epiphany Church Festival
Yeah,
up on
tell us about
Pennsylvania. That's,
No,
it's the annual church festival. There's a bunch of
Among
food,
citizens,
music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's open to the public.
It's open to the public. There's signs around town. Yeah.
Thank you.
This is Nancy Horvath, 1417 Arlington Street. I'm so glad to hear that we're not getting another no taxpayers building. I'm so relieved. Thank you for clearing that up. It's misleading. Do we, or as far as I know, we do not have an emergency system in town. If there is I have no idea, some catastrophe or other, is there any way of notifying citizens immediately of some major catastrophe? We have any?
We do have an emergency coordinator for the city, and it's probably a good thing to get him down here and to explain to us how that works. Do you have anything to offer for that, Delmar? What, in the event of
We
a
have an
major emergency in the
emergency-
city, how do we notify the citizens? Right.
Through what?
Mark Single is our emergency coordinator.
Mike said.
Mike Single.
And how would he be notifying? Does anybody know how?
It would be on your radios, your TVs, and everything else. There'd be all kinds of.
But no central woo, horn or whistle or anything.
Those days are gone.
They're gone. Oh, well, that's what I relate to, those old days. Okay, that was probably, Monessen has, the high school has a baseball team. Are we going to be able to have basketball, football? Does anybody know this year? I see we have cheerleader practice.
They need a board, they don't got a civic board.
Yeah,
No,
that
she's
was the
talking
other.
about the school.
This is
Talking about
high
the
school.
school.
Then the high school can take care of it.
Well, I was just questioning if anyone knew, based on.
They can attract it from us, let them figure it out.
It was just citizens' concern whether I go to the games tonight, this year or not.
Where's our high school band at?
Good question. Good question. We had 19 kids playing in the band the last time they were on the field. A couple of years ago. Yeah, not quite. That would be nice. I have had this problem, I brought it up before, with the sewer in my house, the sewer line. I had my basement waterproofed last week. Now I'm cleaning up, and the smell, I couldn't work in the basement. It gave me a headache, it made me nauseous. It is so strong. It's unbelievably strong. I wish I could have bottled it and brought it down. It's just sickening. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to finish it. So bad. Not to my knowledge, who knows? I don't know. My line in Arlington was supposed to have been done on one of the top it was numbered like number 5 forest condition years ago, and it's never been touched. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I know I can't get anyone to get through with an electric snake. It doesn't work. Neither one works in the garage. So I'm sure that terracotta's all tumbled down and blocking everything, but
I would call
the smell
I would
is.
call the sanitary authority. That's who handles sewage, is the sanitary authority.
I have called them, not recently, but I've called them several times, and they tell me, make sure there's water in the trap. Cover it with a bucket was my last advice.
I guess, the other thing that you could do is, if you can only move a snake so far, you have to find if it's on your property or if it's.
Well, they can't get it out of the garage, the snake, it's jammed there. But it's on the other side that the smell is,
It's probably because.
and outside, of course.
It's probably because it's getting caught up coming from your home out to the main line.
The city told me a couple of years ago that they put a camera down and there was no apparent blockage.
That's in the sewer line outside of your property. But you
Yes.
have a lateral that runs from your house to that
Yes.
sewer line.
Well, the one runs and that's where that, oh,
I would assume, just from what you're discussing, that your lateral to the main line, it might be compromised.
Well, no doubt it is from in the garage, and I'm going to get that dug up as soon as I can.
Yeah, that will probably
That
relieve.
would be
And
probably
usually
fixed.
everything comes through either
But get it,
into that way or right past the, sometime in certain homes, no matter how they were built, right past there's a connection from the house into that line as well, but it appears that your lateral is probably the problem.
some parts of it, the one side of the house is running clear. It's okay, but that's where the stench is coming from. I think that's all. I think that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to hear about that property not being a rental.
Hello, Honorable Mayor, Council. My name's George McGrew, and I live on 420, up at 420 Motherwell Avenue. And I was there today, you and another fellow walked down the street years back. And, you know, I want to commend you and the council, whoever's involved in it, for getting the funds to tear down these dilapidated homes. But my concern is, what's going to go in there? You're saying low income or more?
No.
Income based. Okay, well, what's this based on? It's based on their income.
It's based on a percentage of the norm income that's there. I think some of it has to be a minimum of 80% of the normal income that's in that general area there.
That's on the value of the home, right? I mean, their income is what they can pay for that house that they're going to build,
But
right?
it's not just any income that works. You have to be at a certain level within the ratio of the neighborhood that's there.
Right, but, okay, another question to you, sir, is who's going to move in there? I mean, where are these people going to come from? Are
Well,
they
you
gonna come from
have
the
a lot of
city?
people
people in this town that are doing rentals, paying $800 and $900 a month to live in a trap. This gives them the opportunity to invest in a house, build equity, and get out of that world.
But are they going to be able to pay the taxes on that house?
They
Are
have
gonna
to.
take
They're
the
paying $800 or
school
$900.
tax?
If they got $800 or $900 to pay rent, they can typically get in a house, pay less, and pay the taxes and everything else.
Well, who determines on where these homes are going to be built? I mean, they said these homes are going to be torn, all right?
There's a complicated thing, and I would really suggest that we get a hold of the community action and have a meeting with them, either in their building over there or over here. I don't really care. But their community action is very much into working with the community that they're working within. They would love to sit down and visit with all you guys and talk about what they're doing, why they're doing it, and if there's any changes they need to make.
But where's all this money going to come from? Is it a grant, or is it loans, or what is it? I mean, is it taxpayer funded, or?
It's really wild because, as I understand it, the way they're working, they actually obtained a loan to build these houses. They have to sell the houses and pay off the loan or they fail. So they have to build the houses and sell the houses in order to be successful. Now, they do get some supplemental aid from HUD to do this. How much that is, I don't know. I think that's where the income base comes from. But these are questions that they across the way can answer. They across the way can explain this much better than I can.
Well,
It's an opportunity for the community to have something new brought into it.
that's all well and fine, but some of this money is going to be spent. There's homes around there that elderly people, I don't consider myself elderly, but there's homes that need money to be fixed up with. Are there any other grants or something else?
Absolutely, and they are the people that can help you with that. They have whole home repair grants. They have lead abatement grants. They have a whole variety of ways to help people that are living in a house that's getting old and needs repair.
Well, thank you. You answered a lot of my questions, and you still did a good job.
Thank you, but I do invite people. We need to get a hold of them across the way and
Mayor, where are you referring to across the way?
community action.
Next right there.
Westmoreland Community Action.
Erica Gedemy, 468 Motherwell, Monessen. I just want to piggyback off of a little bit what Robert was saying about the houses up there. I know you just got finished saying that, you know, we should talk to redevelopment. But I have one question for us. I know when I first talked to you about the houses being tore down, I asked you about tearing down the house that was next door to me.
Mhm.
And I also asked you, after, when it was tore down, if I could buy the property so I could fence my dogs in. You told me, yeah, and then the whole situation changed. I seen you talking to some ladies outside, business, whatever, and you asked her, well, can we reconsider for Erica, because she did ask for this house. That never happened. Okay, but we're gonna pass that up now, because it is what it is. My question now is, how long is it gonna take for these houses to get built? Because now that you tore down the houses, I got weeds to the sky, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm cleaning up Monessen's mess because it makes my house. That was the same thing I said about the back, the field in the back. I asked you if you could get that cut. You did, and I appreciate that. But now I have weeds on the other side that's growing. I don't know how long it's going to take for these houses to be built, but I have mice all through my yard, you know what I mean? I have 2 pit bulls that bring mice in my house. They catch them outside, and it's disgusting. So I'm just asking, is there anybody that can cut the grass until you just decide to, you know, to build?
I do expect that they will be coming in and clearing those lots out a bit in the month of August, next
Okay, 'cause
month.
I know the ones up on Clareton, they look nice.
But they
It's
were
all cut.
freshly demolished too.
Yeah,
So
that's what I mean.
that
So
helps.
why was mine's not cut if when it was freshly demolished?
Some of the people that did demolition did a better job of cleaning up than others.
Okay.
The point being is, they're supposed to clean up the lots, next month. They're supposed to build the houses the following month, and they will be done through a modular process.
Okay, so how many houses are supposed to be on?
5. The 5 5 in September. Now, they've already started planning for 10 more homes that will be along McNair and back over towards 10th Street.
Okay. Okay, well, I mean, it is what it is. Please just cut the grass. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Michael Berinsky, I live up on Motherwell. Quick question. The guys that demo the properties in this area, how liable are they for the damage that they do to the streets as well as the sidewalks while they're doing that process? Do they have to fix the sidewalks, fix the streets that they screw up, stuff like that?
They should. They absolutely should.
Because last week, one of the properties up there on Motherwell, actually the one that's straight across the street from me, well, it's adjacently straight across. The guy came down, turned his front end loader, the backhoe, ground out part of the road there, then went up over the sidewalk in front of my property onto my property, then proceeded to take down the house while he was sitting on my property. He smashed part of the sidewalk. He ground up the ground there. I went out after him saying, yo, dude, you just screwed up the sidewalk, you screwed up the ground, you're on my property. Oh, I just thought it was an abandoned lot. That was his excuse. Didn't even check this
No.
stuff.
First off, you have those kinds of issues, and I would invite anybody that's watching this on YouTube or Facebook, that if you have those kinds of issues, contact our code enforcement officer. He will contact the people that doing this in Greensburg, the redevelopment authority. Those people that are doing this destruction they have liability, they have insurance, and they will hold their feet to the fire.
Well, that's what I figured, because when I mentioned it to him, he just after I walked away, because I got cameras out front, and I watched him through my window too. He just went over and he just grabbed the pieces that he screwed up and just threw them and acted like he didn't do anything.
You should get full restitution for that.
Yeah, because there's 2 large chunks in the sidewalk right in front of my property now.
Yeah, they're liable for that.
Off.
They all have to be bonded.
They're all bonded, they're
Yeah,
insured.
I figured as much.
I think they have on the order of $1 million insurance plan. That doesn't mean you're gonna get $1 million out of them, but
No.
they are covered well.
But yeah, because the sidewalk in front of that part of the property, there was nothing wrong with that sidewalk until he decided to run the backhoe right up over top of it and grind off 2 large chunks.
Yeah, and I agree, if you definitely call.
On 426, it's
you
straight
definitely
across
call,
from me.
what's your name? What's your first name? Yeah, no.
No, you come forth and go straight on, and then I'm like right in the middle of Motherwell.
If you definitely call the code enforcer, they will take care of it, because it happened next to my house. They tore up the sidewalk, and I said, they coming back to fix this? Because he goes, I'll call them, and they came back within that week. They repaired the whole sidewalk to new. You just have to let them know, and like you said, everybody listening, if they're tearing up property where you live, make sure you call Marvin and them, and they will get on them, and they will be back to fix that property.
They're very good about that.
Yes,
And we've got, some people that are doing the demolition much better than others.
Yes.
All right, anything
Yeah,
else?
I just wanted to make sure and make that aware because that's a pretty big issue. I mean, I've seen other places throughout the city itself where I've been watching them, like up on Chestnut and that. Chestnut looks like trash right now because the guys that did the ones off the side of there, that whole road, they trashed. And I haven't seen anything redone there. The city should be on about that one because nobody else owns that there. So another question up there on Chestnut too. When you come around Chestnut, I can't remember the little street that comes down. I think it's Short or something.
Summit comes down to Chestnut.
Yeah, it's Summit. I knew it started with an S. Thank you, ladies. The right there on the corner. It's really hard to drive down that street with people parking on the corner. You go to come around, people are parking right along the thing on both sides. You pretty much have to thread a needle to try and even get through there. If you have even a slightly larger vehicle like a moving van or anything, you're gonna have to back that thing out to go there. Something has to be done about that, just that turn area. There's plenty of parking up along that street ahead of that area, but right there along those corners, it's very dangerous for anything going
If
there.
they're illegal parked or obstructing traffic, then that's a call to 911 and get the police there and they will address that issue.
Wouldn't it be much easier if you just had a no parking between X and X sign system? I mean, that would be a
Perhaps,
lot.
but I didn't know that was a problem at that particular spot.
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up. It's the little cars it's the little ones across the street, the new apartments that got refurbished that are doing, and the new tenants, they're parking along there, and then the houses on the corners are parking up. So you're getting a truck, a car, 3 cars there, and you're trying to go through. That's one of the hardest things with it. So I was just figured I'd bring that up. I didn't get a chance to do it before at any of the other meetings because I've been busy from unable to come down. But I figured I'd just mention about that. Maybe it can be looked at because it does get pretty hard there at times.
So you
to
do
go
live
down.
on Motherall there?
Yeah. The other thing with it is people are constantly going up the wrong way up there too. They'll come down Summit, they'll turn left, go up that way, even though they have a
Yeah.
one way. I mean, there's plenty of
I
times
can't
you'll
account for
find-
a lot of idiots.
Yeah, I mean,
Then there's plenty of them.
the other thing, I mean, you'll find plenty of vehicles that are actually parked the wrong way, halfway down the street.
Right.
They've
So, I
been doing
mean,
that since I lived there.
Right.
Yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, I just wanted to address those concerns. I'm good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mark Johnston. I'm from 432 Motherall. My wife and I own it. She's back there. When they tore the house down next door, they hit our house with an excavator, but they also left a large tree out front, and the retaining wall in front of it is disintegrating. And as it does, the tree is leaning. It's into the lines, and I think it poses a problem. I think it will fall, and I think it will damage the lines, and it's a nuisance tree. I don't know how we get rid of it.
That's interesting. I do know that the philosophy that they're using in Greensburg for demolition of property, you go to the house, if they don't remove all the trees on the lot. They are there to demo the house. They're not there to take care of trees. And there's a lot of times that they make decisions that I just simply don't understand. But if they're damaging your house, if they're damaging your house in any way, again, talk to Marvin. Marvin will talk to them, and they will get back down there and they'll do restitution.
Well,
If you made
it's
a claim
repaired
about-
now.
Oh, okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
But
You repaired it?
It's repaired. It's,
Yeah. If anybody has damage to their home,
You know,
we
money.
should be contacting the demo companies, and they are responsible for that.
Yeah, go through Marvin, because he goes through the people that contract the contracting companies. He can get it addressed.
do you know what we do about the tree that's falling into our lines?
No, but I'll go up there and take a look and see if we can come up with some
It was on
ideas.
that property. It's still on that property, but it's leaning toward ours.
So they damaged the tree to cause this problem.
No.
The land around it.
As they went back and forth with the excavators, the pressure caused the retaining wall that is in front of the tree to disintegrate.
Still
And the
there.
tree is now leaning more toward that
That's
area.
something that we need to be addressed as well.
Yeah.
You weren't home when they were digging that house here, when they demoed that. They dug so deep down through that foundation as well next to your house. Like, so far that you can, they had a 20-foot
we'll have Marvin,
And if I could just say something from back here, the light here. I was there and I asked them, what are you gonna do about the tree, you know? And they said, well, it's in the electrical lines, we can't do anything.
And that's probably true. And
Yeah.
like I said, they're not there to be tree trimming people. But if they're,
Action would do it whenever they rebuild there.
if they're gonna build on that lot, they would, yes, absolutely.
Okay, I'm just worried about when it falls across the way of Robert's house and his truck that's always parked across the street, his brother's truck. When the tree just goes, and then, I'm just saying.
I'll make a point to go up there and take a look and see if I can come up with some ideas on what we need to do.
Thank you, sir. And I do appreciate everything you've been trying to be doing. Getting rid of the blight and stuff, I don't know.
That's on the list. Talk to Marvin.
White hat on. It's Linda Lacy, Maple Avenue, which brings me to the question after the Motherwell people spoke, because about the sidewalk. And I think that whatever it costs to fix the sidewalk on Motherwell, you should extract that from the $244,530.55 that Morgan Contracting destroyed. So whatever that sidewalk costs there on Motherwell and 10th, deduct it from that amount of money. Because it's been like that for 5 years.
She said so, yeah.
Ms. Lacy, if I may.
Yes.
So, there's an area that a contractor that was hired by the city has damaged some area?
It was Morgan who did, we had a sinkhole that was huge. And we had a sinkhole that was huge on Motherwell. And I documented it from day one when they started working. I got over 1,000 pictures. They rode over the sidewalk with those, he called it a land mover, I don't know what it is, it's a big excavator, thank you, and damaged the sidewalk. And I've mentioned this to City Council more than one time, because right across the street, there is a school bus stop. And I understand that one of the kids fell over the hill anyway, a couple years ago.
Can you give me the documentation?
I can get you a picture of it, if it's not overgrown.
Yeah, I'll write up after the meeting with you.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
You're talking about Maple, right? Not Motherwell.
No, it's Motherwell. It's right
Where's
there
it
where
at?
Ida Mae used to live on the corner, and that, what's his, Mike Smith, it was in Mike Smith's yard, actually. You know
That's
where the
Motherwell?
Bells, you know where the Bells live? Used to live?
Motherwell. Are you talking about like on
That's
10th
I said
Yeah,
Motherwell, I
yeah.
meant McMahon.
That's what threw me off, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew you were talking about.
I
okay,
said
okay.
Motherwell
Yeah.
because they were talking
Right,
about
that threw me
Motherwell.
off, that's why I was making
But
sure.
it's
I knew it was
McMahon.
Well, maybe I'll follow you up.
And
if
it's
you're
been
going up
5
there.
years.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
It's
You
been
never
5 years.
fixed it, never
Wait a
fixed
minute,
it.
is this the big sinkhole we had in 2019?
15, it started.
That
But
could
we
be a
had the
problem.
major collapse, we had the major
Yeah,
collapse in
never
19.
Well,
We were
I
still on
documented
council.
the whole thing, but the thing about it is that sidewalk's been like that for at least 5 years.
That may be a problem.
Yeah, they're
It's
not gonna
been
do
so
anything
long.
5 years later, we should have known about that.
Well, you need to deduct it from that $244,000
Wish life
and
was
don't
like
use
that.
Morgan anymore. Because if they
I'm
damage
still gonna
something,
come
they're
up and
not
look
gonna
at
pay
it though.
for it.
I'm gonna come up and look at it.
With this one guy.
Good evening, Josh Lindsay, 43 Schoonamaker, 345 Schoonamaker, 347 Schoonamaker. Two quotes I'd like to tell you tonight. Malcolm X said if you want to hide information from people, put it in a book, as this gentleman found out. And J.P. Morgan said gold and silver is money, everything else is credit. The question I have tonight is about 361 Schoonamaker. Lawrence and the land bank jacked the price up, which I have some federal ways to get around that, but it's on a demolition list. Is it, I don't want it to get demoed while I'm taking my other options. Once it's on the demo list, how long does it take to get?
So it matters, sir, which demo list it may be on, matter where funding comes from.
Okay.
Normally again, we have a lot of blight. So if we can, and we have a number of houses on the demo list, somebody comes in and says, hey, I'm interested in that one. We try to put that one to the back of the demo list to use the funds that we have to the first ones. We could try to look into this one and figure out if we can get it to the back of the list, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I'd like that, because when I went to buy it, the land bank, it was I said it the last 2 council meetings ago or something, it was 3,500, I went to buy it, the paperwork jumped to 7,000, then the land bank started at 11,000 to bid. Then when I talked to Brian Lawrence, he said we won't accept nothing less than 20, which is a little odd because, you know, nonprofit or whatever, but.
So bear in mind that property belongs to the land bank. We have nothing to say about that.
Right, but the fact that the county took it from 3,500 listed online, day of the auction, the new paper said 7. The guy said bidding starts at 11.5. I thought, well, how's this jumping up? And then when I went to talk to Brian Lawrence, he said I offered him $1,000 because that's what it would have been with all the fees. I'd have still got it for about $3,500. And he said we can't accept anything less than 20,000. And I said, well then, I don't know what you guys are doing, but nothing sounds right.
Marvin has something to add to that as well. You have the floor, Marvin.
That particular building at 361 is a right now building. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for some, just movement issues, that building would have been the first one done today. That is on the list that the contractors are in town now.
If it's already been put on a list, already been,
Contracted out.
Contracted out, I doubt that I'll try to make a couple phone calls tomorrow to see, but I doubt it.
Well, that's what I told Brian. I said, if that's the route you're going, then just tear the whole city down. I guess that's what you want, so.
You're lucky they even gave you a price. I want to get a house off actually, I put in to get a house, before you went in. I was waiting for someone.
Is there anywhere to get Brian to try to back away from that house? Is it really too late? I mean, I'd rather
Tough tomorrow, I'll call tomorrow, but if he's saying that they
Sorry,
would
the
demo
contracted out, there's not much.
I'd rather see something happen.
No doubt about it.
Have you been in it?
I know, I mean, I live by it, I know what the house is, but I mean, I've seen his work though, he's willing to invest in the property and put his work into it.
Well, you need to look at that place before you say that, seriously.
I think Marvin and I are gonna speak.
Is there anybody else with comments?
Yeah, I want to keep Gary mad as our regular.
No, you can't do that.
Could I have a motion to adjourn?
You wanna do it, Jim?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, I already paid my sentence here for about 5 years before Joe was around.
Freddie, can you go grab that paper, because I would like to get out of here.